Welcome into Moving the Chains, brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. I'm Kevin Thomas alongside Jerel Hendricks. We've got a great interview lineup today, a very special guest, the head coach of the Strom Thurmond Rebels, Andrew Webb. Coach, how you doing today?
Good, man. Just working. How y'all doing?
Doing well. We appreciate your time, man. We know you're busy, so it really means a lot that you're willing to sit down with us. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, we appreciate you. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin Chains, website movingchains.com, podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Coach Webb is in his second season as the head coach of the Strom Thurmond Rebels, and he is 20-5 overall so far there. They are 10-2 this season and finished first in Region 3-2A. Coach, let's start talking about your coaching career. How did you get started and how did you get to where you are now there with the Rebels?
I started coaching in 2004 at Clinton High School. That's where I grew up and played, and started coaching for Coach Andy Young. Coach Young is who I'm named after. So I played for him and then coached for him, and love my time coaching with Coach Young. We actually lost to Strom Thurmond in the 2005 state championship. So that was kind of – Strom Thurmond was always on a pedestal to me, and just kind of made my way up coaching. And after 2018, left and went to Saluda with my buddy Stuart Young and had a great 3 years there. And ultimately that's my time at Saluda is what got me to Strom Thurmond. So, everything kind of happens for a reason sometimes. The coaching career, up and down, highs and lows, but everything works out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah, Coach, I want to ask you about that. You spent a lot of time at Clinton. We just talked a little bit, off air. You were there from 2004 to 2018. That's a long time from Clinton, named after legendary Coach Andy Young there. Yeah. But as a head coach, things just didn't go your way. We talked to a lot of coaches, where that's their alma mater, kind of their dream job. What in that process, helped you be a better coach here at Strom Thurmond?
Oh, man, everything you could experience, in your hometown, it's just magnified, and it's a double-edged sword. You got people that you've known your whole life, and some of them are in your corner all the time, no matter what. And those people, man, you cherish those people. And then there's other people, when you don't win, it's like they ain't quite the same. And you know what you sign up for when you're going to be a head coach, but everything's magnified in your hometown. So you would have never told me that, it's 8 years ago, whatever that was, when I started being a head coach, I would never have believed that. But, now if I could look back and tell myself 8 years ago, dude, run, don't do it yet. Don't do it yet. But, you learn a lot, and it's definitely helped me along the way.
Coach, talking about, this year's team there with the Rebels, last week, round 2, you guys defeated Keenan 53-20. What'd you do well in that ballgame which had such great success?
It's the first time we've trailed in a while. I want to say maybe since North Augusta. Mm-hmm. And, our defense continues to play really well, but we put the ball on the ground for the first time in a long time on the first play. And, man, they picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. So we found ourselves down 6-0, but nobody flinched. And, we kind of got into a little grooves, ran off 34 points, I think, before halftime. And, once we got into a rhythm, we played really well in all three phases. And, when all three phases play well, it's fun to coach. So we played pretty well this past week.
Coach, I know many people in that area and most of 2A, they know about your team this year and your style, your background. But we have listeners and viewers from across the state. If you don't mind telling them, who aren't familiar with your program, what types of schemes do you like to run on offense and defense? And are you calling plays on the offensive side?
Yeah, I come from a running background, buddy. At Clinton, we run the ball.
Oh, yeah.
And, I spent really most of my time growing up coaching defense. And I was a defensive coordinator before I became the head coach at Clinton. And, you know, the title offensive coordinator, the first time I ever had that title was at Saluda. And, you know, once I went to Saluda, it was, we're slinging this thing everywhere. And that was the people, that was the personnel that we had. We had Noah Bell at quarterback and Dalen Wright and Javon Witt. And we were throwing that thing. And that is really tough to defend when you have those people. You know, when you have those people to go throw it and go catch it and stretch the field, it's tough and it's fun. And once you know, I kind of got through that stretch there at Saluda, I was like, man, I'm never changing. Yeah. We might adapt a little bit, but I'm not changing. So, you know, on defense, Brett Newton is our defensive coordinator, and he is a very, very good coach. Takes a lot of pride in leading our defense, but our defensive staff is also made up of a lot of experience. And, you know, we have Coach Tony Temple that was at Abbeville for a really long time. We have Coach Matt Hayes that was at Silver Bluff and South Aiken. Coach Page came over from Aiken this year. Coach Champ Merriweather, you know, Coach Zach Felton. Those guys, they just have so much experience that they work together to kind of bring the best of all of them and make it work for our defense now. So they are multiple yet really simple, and they all work together. They all work together on defense to get our guys going. But you know, those guys on defense, they get after you. They play physical, and they're fun to watch.
Hey, Coach, you know, we saw you guys play a few weeks back, and you're playing really well on both sides of the ball. Who are some of the key guys that are having really good seasons for y'all so far?
Well, the offense is who gets all the headlines, and I told y'all that after that game at Saluda. But, you know, our defense has played really good, and all 25 of the games that I have been at Strom Thurmond, our defense has carried us, and our guys in that locker room know that. You know, offense wins games, defense is what wins championships. And, you know, so everything starts really on defense. And the guys up front, you know, Josh Merriweather is a junior that's played really well. Nate Stevens is a 3-year starter up front on defense. Darius Simpkins, the defensive end. We have Justice Hammett and H.D. Yantz that play both offensive and defensive line that play really well. They kind of set the tone. And the second level players, the linebackers, you know, Juju Stevens, who's playing in the Shrine Bowl, Michael Blocker, who's the heart and soul of our team. You know, Cam Blacks, those three guys are really, really good on that second level. And, you know, the back end, Trey Clark's a 3-year starter, 2-year starter, I guess, at free safety. He plays real fast, real physical. He covers the middle of the field, and he does a really good job. 6'4", 180 pounds, playing free safety, and he'll strike you. And then, you know, our DBs, we put our corners, Caleb Simpkins, Andrew Bird, we put them guys on islands sometimes, and they've held up. So, you know, the guys on defense, man, they're the ones that set the tone. You go to offense, there's names over there that you know, Quan Edmond, he's thrown for 2,300 yards, 27 touchdowns, and he's only thrown 1 pick all year. That's incredible, the way that he's played. So he does a really good job getting the ball to Staley, Tolan, and Sewell. They're so hard to defend, and they're unselfish players. But we wouldn't be able to do any of it without those guys up front. And those guys up front is really what has made our offense, you know, go from being pretty good to really good, because we've been able to run the ball when we've had to. So, you know, H.D. Yantz, Justice Hammett, Trent Kelly, Michael Warren, Tucker Mims, those guys, man, they've done a really, really good job up front for us.
You kind of glossed over him, but we got to talk about him. 4-star wide receiver Braylon Staley, Tennessee commit there, transferred in from Aiken this past season. You know, what kind of spark did he give, you know, obviously to the offense, but, you know, juice to your team overall?
Yeah, well, you know, there's a little bit of concern as a coach. I didn't know Braylon, you know. I didn't know anything about him. So here's this 4-star receiver coming into your program, and it's like, I don't know what kind of dude he is, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. You don't know really what you're getting, but he is the best kid, man. He's the best kid. He works hard. He is so unselfish. He blocks for his teammates, and he's a rebel now. You know, he hangs out with the boys. He's one of the boys, and man, he does a good job. But the obvious stuff of what he does, you got to account for him. You got to account for him. And there's plenty of times throughout the season that he's seen double coverage, but when you have somebody like that can just take the top off of defense, it makes calling plays fun. And then not only him, but the other two out there with him can do it too. So, probably the biggest impact Braylon Staley will have is once he leaves here, there's juniors, sophomores, and freshmen that have watched that dude practice every day for a season. And, he practices like a 4-star football player should practice every day. And, he's a heck of a football player, and I'm glad he's on our team.
Coach, like we said several times, you guys are having, a phenomenal season. Had a couple losses, but they were to bigger schools, earlier in the year. And how pleased are you with where your team is right now? Do you feel like you guys are kind of peaking at the right time, hopefully here in the late in the playoffs?
Yeah, we've been playing really well. I think the thing that keeps me happy is we're practicing well. Sometimes if you're just winning, you can get lost on winning, but are you getting better? And our guys continue to practice well, get better, and we don't never play perfect. No game's going to be perfect, but man, we feel like we're continuing to get better, and all three phases of the game playing well. And we gotta try to keep playing. Got to try to keep playing our best, because now's certainly the time we need it.
I got to catch myself. You mentioned all three phases of the game. We talked about offense and defense. You got some pretty good specialists on your team. I need to give them, some shout outs as well.
Oh yeah. So Nate Nordine, my man, like this dude, he's not a normal kicker. He's not like he's not a head case. He's a football player that kicks. And
I love it. He
is extremely clutch. He kicked the game-winning field goal last year at Saluda. When we call on him, he's ready. He's the only field goal he's missed this year was from 52 yards on the last play of the half, I think, versus Silver Bluff. He made one from 50 at Midland Valley earlier in the year. Like he can swing it, and the job that he does kicking the ball into the end zone, when other people have to start at the 20, man, that is a weapon. So, Nate Nordine, H.D. Yance is our long snapper. Nate handles all the kicking. Braylon's, Chris Barnes, those guys, they're returning kicks. But we take a lot of pride in special teams. The we team, that's everybody. But they take a lot of pride in playing special teams, and they've been doing a really good job of flipping the field for us.
Last year, Coach, you guys made it to the third round before, falling to that Saluda team. How much did that kind of fuel you guys in the offseason to kind of make this program want to take the next step here in 2023?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. When you get to the third round, it's almost you're not at the top of the mountain clearly, but you're high enough up there that you can see a lot. And when you get to that third round and you lose and you're done, it's like, man, I want to know what the top's like. You've been close, and it's like, darn, this is cool. But, man, our guys, the Monday after we lost that game last year in the third round, we were back working, and it stunk. It stunk. It hurt. But they were back working, and here we are a year later back in the third round, and we certainly hope that all that work and experience will pay off for us.
You mentioned that here in the third round, again, your opponent's Gray Collegiate. I think this is probably the biggest matchup in the state, and a lot of big matchups, but yours is towards the top. What challenges, does that team present the War Eagles there? And, how's the preparation gone so far? I know we're only at Monday as time of recording, but how has the preparation progressed so far?
It was good, man. The guys were locked in, ready to go today, Gray's a really good football team. They're well coached. They got good players. They're kind of one of those teams when you just look and you watch and you watch and you watch. There's not many weaknesses. They're a really good football team. But that's what the third round of the playoffs is supposed to be. You get here and you play good people, and you got to play your best. And you you're not going to play perfect, but you can't make a lot of mistakes. So they're a good football team, and it's going to be a heck of a challenge for us. But that's what the third round is supposed to be.
Coach, you mentioned there, execution really. At this point in the season, I feel like you got a pretty good idea what the other team's going to do. There's not a whole lot of new wrinkles, maybe a few small things here and there, but how much more of an importance is just really placed on just doing your job, not making the big mistake, and really just executing on the simple stuff each week?
A bunch, a whole bunch. Just the things that are going to make the biggest difference are the smallest details. And, we kind of have a recipe, so to speak, that we believe in, of just playing with our best focus, our best effort, and our best discipline. And we feel like if we can do those things, play with our best focus, best effort, and best discipline, we're going to have a chance to go win any week. So, the game plan, doing this, trying to take this away, trying to, hit this play, whatever, it's really going to come down to the smallest things that you really start working on day one of spring practice, getting lined up, running to the football, making tackles, executing. It sounds so cliche, but it's so true. The smallest things are going to make the biggest difference.
Coach, earlier in the year, we got the opportunity to come down there and, talk to you guys, see your team perform, go down the Peach Fields and just take it in. And man, I was wowed by like how great your facilities were, how passionate that fan base and community is. For someone who has not been able to take in that atmosphere down there in Edgefield County, what is that like? And can you describe, what it means to the community to have, the Rebels program rolling the way it is? Yeah,
it's awesome, man. Edgefield County loves football. They love football, and they certainly support us. Just coming to this area in general, man, it's a pretty little area. And, prior to moving here, this was not somewhere that I was familiar with, Yeah. So it's a pretty little area. You get to drive through the Peach Fields, and, you got to come see them things sometime. You got to come see them in the spring when they're all pink and blooming. And it's pretty. But, the facilities speak for themselves. You want to see people that love football, come look at the facilities. Some people can tell you they love football, and then some people you walk in and you say these people love football. And you see the stadium, you see the field house, you see how pretty the field is every week, taken care of. They take a lot of pride in the way that field looks. And I say they were doing that before I showed up. So that's something that I just try to continue to uphold. Let's take care of this thing. But the Jumbotron, the sound system, all of it, it is top notch. And it's hard pressed to say there's another 2A facility in the state that is like that. And that is not being boastful at all. That is just these people in Edgefield love football. And I am very thankful for it, and we are blessed to have the facilities that we do.
Coach, we travel the state. We see, 4A and 5A facilities that aren't as nice as yours. So definitely understand that. And like you said, it's not being boastful. There is that distinct pride in those people down there, and you can definitely tell by how they upkeep that.
Take your financial gain to the next level with Founders Federal Credit Union. Reach your full potential. Relax. Join Founders today. Visit an office near you or relaxjoinfounders.com to apply. Federally insured by NCUA, member qualification required.
Coach, got a couple of easier ones here before we let you go for the night. When you're loading up the bussy on Friday, heading over to Gray Collegiate, what's on that pregame playlist for you?
Man, I really don't listen to music. I really don't. I just kind of go with the flow, man. I used to listen to all kind of music, but now, I just kind of ride on the bus, take it in. The boys have kind of got me. I guess when you hear "In the Air Tonight," that always make your heart beat fast. They've got me used to some Pooh Shiesty. I think that's how you say it. That gets my blood pumping a little bit, but I really don't listen to a lot on the bus.
Coach, we're big foodies, and we ask every coach. We got to indulge on the Edgefield pool room, down there. And but what are some of your other favorite restaurants in that area?
Oh man, the Mexican restaurant in Johnston, love it. That's my family's favorite place to go eat. It's really good. Riley's on Main, in Johnston, got buffet, buffet style food on the weekends. Pine Ridge Golf Course, man. Their food's better. You know, golf course food, man. That food's good, and we enjoy going there. But that's probably our go-tos. That's probably our go-tos right here in Edgefield. You start sliding down the Aiken and North Augusta. Over the last 2 years, I've kind of been introduced to Taco Sushi. Love that place.
Oh yeah, we got one up in here in Greenville.
I'd never been to one till last summer moving here. But Taco Sushi is a favorite in our house.
Well, Coach, last one for you here. Obviously, you guys are getting ready for the third round here on Friday night. What's it going to take to make a deeper run this postseason? Do you think the Rebel squad is ready to do so?
Yeah, we got to take care of ourselves, man. And our goal each week. If you come to practice and you say, guys, what's the goal for the week? It's to go 1-0. And it's been the same since the very first game of the season. Just we go 1-0. And, we try to take a lot of pride in playing to the Strom Thurmond standard of playing with pride, class, courage, and having an unmatched will to win. And those are things that when our guys lay their heads down at night, they have to be able to answer those questions. And ultimately, they are the only ones that know. Did you do these things to the best of your ability? And, just playing, we got to play with our best focus, best effort, and best discipline. And, if we do those things, I'm sure anybody, once you get to the third round, will say if they do those things as well as they can, they have a chance to move on. And, we certainly feel like that. This week, last week, any week, if we do those things, we certainly feel like we got a chance. So, you just, at this point in the season, you just hope you play your best. You hope you play your best, and, we certainly live with whatever result comes.
Well, this has been great. I want everyone to go check out Coach Webb and the Rebels program on social media. They do a great job posting updates on their team, things like that. Like I mentioned, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, etc. at Movin Chains, website movingchains.com, podcast on Apple, Spotify, Google, and more. Movin the Chains brought to you by Founders Federal Credit Union. Jerel, anything else for Coach Webb to go tonight?
Coach Webb, we just want to thank you so much. We know it's an extremely busy time this week, so appreciate you carving out a few minutes for us to talk to us and talk about your program. Wish you continued success. Been a lot of fun keeping up with your program the last couple of years, especially this year. You guys are got it rolling. Best of luck this week as you guys head over to West Columbia. We know it's going to be a fantastic game, and something tells me that me and Kevin are going to see you on Friday night.
I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all for doing what you do. Certainly appreciate it.
We appreciate it, Coach. Look forward to catching you here in a couple weeks, and best luck the rest of the way, all right?
Thank you, buddy.